In the years since the American Revolution, the United States faced a challenge very different than the one it had faced while fighting the British Army. Now, its leaders had to figure out how they would govern their newly independent nation. A young statesman from Virginia named James Madison rose to the challenge, not only as a vocal supporter of a written constitution, but also as a contributor to the Federalist Papers, one of the earliest expressions of American political theory. It happened during the meeting to draft the Constitution, later called the Constitutional Convention, that began in May of 1787 in the city of Philadelphia. While the delegates debated what should be included in this new Constitution, Madison was recruited by Alexander Hamilton and John Jay of New York to help promote its ratification. Together, they wrote the Federalist Papers, a series of 85 articles and essays. The Federalist Papers appeared in 3 newspapers and were written using the pen name Publius, a reference to the Roman Republic. Madison wrote roughly 1/3 of the 85 articles. In Federalist 10, Madison warned about factions or groups of citizens with interests that differ from the interests of the nation as a whole. Madison believed that a large republic is the best way to prevent factions. Voters in a large republic have a bigger pool of candidates to choose from, which increases the chance that a competent representative will be selected. To this day, Federalist 10 is considered one of the greatest pieces of American political writing. In Federalist 51, Madison laid out the framework for the system of checks and balances which allowed each of the 3 branches of the federal government to check the power of one another. In Federalist 54, Madison also addressed the issue of slavery in population surveys. It stated that slaves would be considered 3/5 of a person. This is the same idea behind the 3/5 compromise. While this sounds controversial today, it was critical at the time because it helped get the southern slave states to ratify the Constitution. As the Constitutional Convention continued, Madison also proved to be an influential and frequent participant, speaking over 200 times. Fellow Delegate William Pierce of Georgia wrote, "Every person seems to acknowledge his greatness. He blends together the profound politician with the scholar. He always comes forward the best informed man of any point in debate." After months of debate and deliberation, the delegates signed the Constitution on September 17, 1787, and then sent it on to the states for ratification. James Madison went on to serve as Secretary of State under President Thomas Jefferson and was the 4th President of the United States. But to this day, he is also remembered for his influence on American political theory in the Federalist Papers.